Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Precious Metal Summit here in Zurich, and we move on here on day one now with Leagold, a fabulous mid-tier producer. And Neil Woodyer, the CEO, is here with us to give us an insight in the company and, of course, an update. Neil, great to see you. Long time.
It is a long time, yes.
Yeah, happy to have you here again. I remember it was like, 4 or 5 years at least when we have been here at the Hyatt also.
Different company.
Exactly, much different company, but you sold that off. So, Leagold, your new venture, I would call it, but it's not even that new, but to me, like now, producer, approximately, what is it, 500,000 ounces, right?
No, 380 this year, 400, something like that. We started 3 years ago, and we now have 4 operating mines, 3 in Brazil and 1 in Mexico.
Fantastic. So that's the Latin American continent, I would call it.
Yes, indeed, yes.
So, what is the cost situation in your minds? Meaning, what is the margin at this lovely gold price?
Well, I think in Los Filos, which is our main mine in Mexico City, which produces about 200, I think we'll be about 950 this year. And
that's AIC?
AIC, yeah. And we're about 200,000 ounces. In Mexico, different each mine. One mine is producing about 75,000 ounces at low 900s. One is high 900s, producing a similar, and one is just over 1,000. So a mixture.
Decent margin, I would say.
At these prices, most definitely.
Fantastic, great. So Mexico, Brazil, how does that work together?
Well, we started in Mexico when we bought the Los Filos mine from Goldcorp in April 2017. And that gave us a large, substantial mine. And when we acquired it, it was 200,000 ounces a year with 1.7 million ounces of reserves. The work we've done now has brought it up to 450. 4.5 million, sorry, and we're going to expand it to 400,000 ounces a year. So Brazil gave us a counterbalance in terms of diversification, geographic spread. That's why Brazil was attractive to us. So that's why Brazil to us and Mexico go together.
Fantastic. So what is, let's say, the guidance for next year? What do you want to achieve in production-wise?
I think we'll be about the same next year, maybe a slight reduction in cost. It's the years afterwards we'll expand, because the expansion of Los Filos we've just started now. That's $200 million, which we spend over the next 2.5 years. We also have another mine in Brazil which we'll restart for about 100. So in total we'll be up to 600, 700 in about 2.5 years' time.
Wow, that's fast.
That's relatively fast, yeah.
Fantastic. And can you finance those investments out of the cash flow?
We can do now, because we did a debt refinancing in June this year. Part of our acquisition, when we acquired the different things that we acquired, we used equity, we raised equity, we also raised debt. We had about 250 million of debt. We refinanced that in June to a 400 million facility, 200 term loan and 200 revolver. So that cash that we have there, and undrawn cash, plus the cash we generate, will finance our expansion up to the 650, 700,000 ounces.
Wow, that sounds very solid, honestly. That's good. What interest do you have to pay for that?
Oh, on the bank debt, we're... Good question. Actually, negotiation, I can't remember. LIBOR plus about 3.5, 3.75.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Up to 4, depending on net debt to equity ratio.
Yeah, so it's really reasonable, I would call it.
Yeah, it's normal bank level.
Fantastic.
Originally, we paid more because we were a startup.
Great. What are the plans, let's say, to move outside Latin America? Do you have that?
We would ultimately have plans to expand, preferably in Latin America. Do not want to go outside the Americas at all. I think it's a question of expertise and how do you manage a large international business unless you have a large corporate overhead to do that, and that's the last thing we want. So I would only see any expansion primarily in Latin America, maybe something else that had an association with that in North America, but not things like West Africa or Australia or anything like that.
Yeah, no. It's too far away.
Too far away. Too complicated.
Yeah, that's right. As you are working in Mexico and Brazil, how is it these days, let's say, political-wise? Are you, let's call it, still happy with the mining laws? Are you happy with governments? Are things working the smooth way you want it?
I think it's important in our mine in Los Filos in Mexico, where we've started the expansion. We wanted to make sure that we had the community and union on side before we did. So we had a land negotiation, land access negotiation, and union negotiation, which have just taken place, which has given us the security to know we can make the investment. And to do that, we got assistance from the Minister of Mines, we got assistance from the head of the National Mining Union, Mexican Mining Union, and we got assistance from the governor of the state. So all those powers came into play, and it all helped us, regardless of what else may be going on in Mexico. In our case, it all came very nicely together to help us. So that's been very good.
I mean, they need the jobs probably, and you are paying taxes, right?
Well, we employ 650 people from the community in Mexico out of our total force of 1,400. And we pay $8 or $9 million a year in services and goods, and we also pay land payments. So we're very dependent on the community, and they are dependent on us. So it's a very good codependency that makes it a worthwhile operation.
Yeah, so I would say win-win situation.
I hate the phrase, but you're right.
Fantastic. Let's assume with Los Filos everything goes the smooth way. You have invested your money, you come up to the production target you are. Could you imagine then to pay maybe then later on a substantial or really high dividend?
I think what our objective is to do isn't to have a certain amount of production. It's to be an intermediate gold mining company that people want to invest in. And if you look at the 20 or 15 or whatever it is, there's 4 or 5 that people want to invest in. And they're the ones that have a certain level of production, something from 800 to 1.2 million, order of magnitude. And we're going to about 650 to 700, so we're short. Ones that have good life assets, Los Filos does, our Mexican assets aren't, Brazilian assets aren't as good. Low operating cost. We're bringing our operating costs down. Geographic diversification. These are the elements you need to have an attractive investment vehicle. When you have that attractive investment vehicle, then by all means you must pay a dividend. But you have to build towards it.
That's right, of course. First you have to build a solid basis, that is for sure.
Yes.
But you absolutely like dividends. This is what I wanted to hear. Like
as a shareholder, I would also like to have a dividend.
Exactly. Good saying shareholder. What do you have, meaning also the management altogether? Who are your largest shareholders? What institutions are in?
Our largest shareholder is Yamana. It owns 20% because there's a vendor take back. Our second largest is Orion. They own about 15-16%. Orion have been an investor. They were an early investor with us, and they've been very, very good financier for us as we've gone through. Our third is Gold Corp, Newmont Gold Corp, because of when we did the acquisition. Frank Justra, our partner and chairman, he owns about 4%. I own about 3.5%. Management's about 7%. It was much harder, much larger when we started, but we've suffered considerable dilution to build the company. Management own about 7 or 8%.
Fantastic. So that's super solid. That sounds great. And I would say, what is let's say, the most important thing you want to achieve 2020 for you?
Oh, well, I'll do this from 2 points of view. I want to see Los Filos going ahead. My wife is having a baby in January.
Wow, congratulations on that. Definitely. Fantastic. Well, this is much better than everything else.
Absolutely.
That is for sure. Neil, thank you very much. All the best, and really keep it going, as we need more gold in this world, definitely.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you did an outstanding job on Endeavour Mining, and I'm pretty sure you repeat that again.
We learnt a lot.
Yeah, I believe that. Thank you very much, Neil. Fantastic. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there was Neil Budaya, the CEO of Leagold. Yeah, and you heard it. The company is full on track, really, on, first of all, expansion. They are investing a lot of money. They are building a solid base here for a big mid-tier producer. And yeah, what I love to hear is also that in probably 2-3 years, hopefully, dividend payments will start. And yeah, the most important thing, as he said, he's becoming a father again here. And so congratulations on that. All the best for 2020.
That part out.
Yeah, check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Zurich.